Orlando Fringe is spreading positive energy throughout Central Florida and around the world. For 30 years, Fringe has provided a platform for storytellers and artists to express themselves and inspire creativity. Orlando Fringe is an international theater festival, bringing together over 75,000 attendees from all over the world each year and giving 100% of ticket sales directly to the artists. And don't worry, we're not going to let this pandemic stop us from bringing one-of-a-kind arts experiences to our community. With over 2,000 participating artists, Orlando Fringe is in a unique position to have a significant positive impact on the $900 billion arts and culture industry, which has taken a huge hit during this crisis. We are committed to giving artists a voice, a platform, and a stage. We will continue to be creative, continue to be unusual, to reinvent the norm, and to stay positive. See you in May at Orlando Fringe.
Hello. Welcome.
Hello and great greetings.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Howdy.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Hello there.
Hello.
At Orlando Fringe, we believe in amplifying voices.
Our goal is to ensure that we are creating and fostering
An inclusive, equitable, and collaborative environment.
One that promotes participation
and openly recruits diverse performances and stories.
Providing opportunities
for underrepresented artists and communities.
By not only offering a platform
for inclusive shows, artwork, and experiences,
but by facilitating and creating opportunities
for coaching, mentorship, and scholarships.
And by offering any guidance
that might help on their artistic journey.
Ultimately, our greatest ambition
is that artists and patrons of any background
will see themselves represented
in the work showcase at the Orlando Fringe Festival,
as well as all of our year-round events.
And that we might serve as a model and inspiration
to other artists
and all arts organizations
in our own community
and around the world.
Come check us out.
So join us.
Join us.
So join us.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe.
Welcome to Orlando Fringe. You're all welcome.
Hello, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Talk Art by Art, where we get to interview some of our Visual Fringe gallery artists on pieces that are in our gallery ready for you to purchase. My name is Melanie, and I am the Visual Fringe producer here at the Orlando Fringe Festival, and we have two amazing artists joining us today. But before I jump into that, I want to let you know about a really kind of cool changes that we have at the festival this year with Visual Fringe. The gallery is completely online. That means we have artists from all over the place, and it also means anyone, anywhere can purchase a piece. It's already open for Club Fringe, and it'll be opening to the general public on the 18th of May, so very, very soon. Definitely go check it out. 100% of sales go back to the artists to support them. And the art will ship right to your door, so it can't get any easier than that. At the festival, we will have an in-person art market. You can look at more art. We will have live events on the Play What You Can stage. And of course, we're going to have some really cool, large, interactive installations on the lawn that you can see anywhere you step foot on the lawn. You won't miss them. So definitely check out that online gallery and come in person to the festival to see the shows, but also to check out Visual Fringe. It's going to be a really great time and a really different but really fun year. All right, jumping into what today is all about, learning about some of our artists in the gallery and their art in the gallery. I'm really excited to bring two people who it is their first time joining us this year. Getting that kind of fresh faces, new art, and is really exciting, as well as joining some wonderful faces that you might have seen before with new art. So first up, we have Jazz joining us here on the stream today. And we're going to welcome her onto this. And Jazz is submitting two pieces this year. Hi, Jazz. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
Oh, we're so thrilled to have you. So Jazz, as I was saying, this is your first year with Visual Fringe, which we're thrilled to have you. Kind of a new experience, different world than a lot of different galleries. So I just wanted to kind of learn a little bit about you and your experience and your art. So can you tell me just a little bit about your journey with art? Maybe when you started, what inspired you to create?
Yeah, so I've been creating for as long as I can remember. As a kid, I would go out into nature and like find leaves and stuff and like color over them in my sketchbooks and just try to, I don't know, just find something beautiful within nature. So I've been creating for as long as I can remember, but watercolor is my main medium. And I started that probably in like high school, maybe early high school. And my senior year, I an AP art portfolio and show with watercolor, and I focused a lot on eyes. And I just fell in love with the medium, and I love how you can blend colors together, get stuff super vibrant, and also put in some other mediums on top of that to create more texture and more vibrant colors as well. So yeah. basically my whole life I've been creating.
That's amazing. So it sounds like you said you had an EP art portfolio. So this is something that you've kind of had a plan was going to be part of your life for as long as you could remember.
Yeah. So I've always loved art. I think it just wasn't something that was practical for me to pursue, as a financial like stability kind of, you know how it is as an artist. So, we got our practical job, our full-time job, and then we do this on the side. I'm actually pursuing it professionally this year for the first time. So having you guys reach out to me was really cool. And having experience is just awesome in general. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Congratulations on going for it this year. That's amazing. But audience, that is why our gallery, 100% of sales go back to the artist. It is an interesting career. It is sometimes a difficult career, but it is a career that every artist is so passionate about and is so connected to their heart and soul. So if you're interested in getting some art for your home, this is the best gallery. Get 100% of sales right back to those artists. Keep helping them support their passions and their livelihoods so they can kind of keep going. Super, super important. That's amazing. So out of curiosity, this piece behind you.
Yeah.
What is that created with? I see.
So this is actually a commission that I'm doing for a close friend of mine. She gave me her wedding picture, wanted me to create something, more vibrant and just more artistic to it. So I'm trying to do that, trying to finish it this week so I can start doing some other pieces that are more, I guess, akin to what I've been doing recently.
Yeah. So what is that akin to what you've been doing recently? Do you have kind of a different style or vibe you're going for?
Yeah. So recently I've been focusing on doing pieces for the Orlando art show, and it's been diving more into a lot of my pieces focus on my mental health journey. So I struggle a lot with anxiety and depression, and art is my outlet for that. So I have this is one of the pieces that'll be submitted to the museum, and this is also a piece.
Wow, those are really, really great.
Thank you. Yeah, so this is more representative of it's called La Máscara. It's the mask. So kind of the mask that I kind of wear every day, trying to get through, this world. And then this is called Hollow, which is a representation of kind of like the emptiness and the hopelessness that I feel some days, but also like a drainage of that energy as well through artwork. So yeah.
I love the movement in your pieces. I think when I was looking at those as well as the pieces in your gallery, you have a really kind of intricate movement capacity to all of your pieces that it really evokes kind of emotion in all of them, which I really admire. I do want to get your gallery pieces up here so we can talk about those in particular. So the very first one we have is Distortion MJ. I'm sure that's, yes. So Distortion MJ, there it is. So this is the very first piece you have in the gallery. Again, the movement, the color. I mean, it is so truly kind of pops out at you and it evokes an emotion with that feeling with that. So this is Distortion MJ. And I would just love to hear kind of, the creation process behind this, the thought process that turned into this wonderful piece of art.
Sure. So this was actually one of the first pieces that I did kind of diving into this journey, and it was a piece that I submitted to the Orlando Art Show in March for their Belladonna show, which focused a lot on women empowerment, and just women in general. And this piece actually got a reference photo from a friend of mine, Mary Jane, MJ. And I asked her to take a picture with a Snapchat filter that made her face distorted, because as a woman, I think society has kind of taught us that symmetry is what's beautiful. And I kind of wanted to challenge this expectation and create something that is a distorted image of beauty, so to say. I think, we have a lot of events in our lives that bring us joy, they could traumatize us, but nevertheless, as women, we're still very vibrant and strong forces. So that's kind of what I want to portray through that piece.
Yeah, I love that. And that is really, I think, an interesting topic that maybe people don't focus on so much is not just, in the performing world, the image of women's beauty or female identifying, beauty and what that becomes, but also it's represented in art, just like you were saying. You often see that on a canvas, in a sculpture, in art in the same way. So kind of focusing on that and bringing light to that through your creation process is really powerful.
I'm just glad I could reach other people with it. So that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's what we're doing, right? We're reaching other people through our art, our own internal out onto a paper. That's amazing. Yeah. That is so great. And when you showed it to your friend, what did they think? I always love to hear that.
She was so happy. And then I told her to go to the museum, and she was even more excited. She actually just ordered a print of it, and I sent it to her like yesterday. So it's pretty cool to see her kind of start her collection of everything as well.
She has to own one. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's a little bit of a requirement. If your face is in a piece of art, you probably need that piece of art in your house.
Yes, absolutely. At least a print.
At least a print. At least. I love it. Speaking of commissions and kind of keeping up with Jazz, Jazz is on Instagram. I so encourage you to follow Jazz on Instagram. I do, and I love seeing what pops up. Currently, you've been doing a lot of photographs where you are in the photograph and painted. Those have been so colorful and fun to see, as well as a journey through your art and what you've been creating. So definitely right there, that's the Instagram. Head there, follow, keep up to date, and that would be also a great way if you're interested in a commission. If you want your face in a piece of art that you can then buy to put in your house, because that's the process, that's the place to get it right there. You also have a website too, correct?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, so there's your website, and that's also a place that you can go check out the art, see what it is. If someone's interested in a commission, do you prefer that they shoot you a message through Instagram?
Yeah, I mean, that's where I am most of the time, either that or my email. So
that works. So check out the Instagram, check out this website. And then, of course, through June 18th, check out the gallery, where not only that first piece is going to be, but the second piece that we're bringing up now, which is called MIA. I'm guessing Missing in Action. And here it is right now. See, also the color, the movement. We've got the movement of the hair. I love that it kind of feels like the paint is really free flowing. Like you let it have its own journey a little bit. So I'd love to hear about this piece and also kind of how the title connects to it.
Sure, yeah. So this piece actually was inspired by another friend of mine. Her name is Mia. But the title kind of has a double meaning. So Mia is obviously the name of the girl who is my friend who was inspired by this piece. But Missing in Action is also part of it, because I did this piece during a time when I felt kind of just held down by everything. Like a part of me was missing, basically. So this piece, the flow of the color, kind of just represents the pull that I was feeling during that time, and the missing pieces, kind of down at the hair on the bottom, is that missing in action, so to speak. But yeah, I use a lot of my friends' faces as inspiration. I don't know. I like to incorporate their personalities within the pieces as well, so it's fun to do.
I think that makes me really excited to hear, because it's not only, you were talking about that therapeutic process of creating art and expressing your, feelings in the moment, but also being able to kind of be like, that's my friend, and I know kind of their personality, and I'm going to incorporate all their quirks and all their positive traits into a piece. I mean, that honestly is a true honor, I'm sure, for any of your friends, a true testament to the love there is. That's so wonderful.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love working with people that are also passionate and creative, not only about my art, but also about their own creations too. So it's really cool to not only have creative friends, but have them want to collaborate with me as well. So yeah, pretty awesome.
Absolutely. Oh, art collaboration is one of the greatest things. Seeing what people create on their own, but then what they create with others at the same time, and just kind of something completely new coming through. That's so great.
That's why I love doing those body painting photos with that artist at Herblish on Instagram. He's awesome. But he's a photographer, he's a painter, he's so talented, absolutely amazing. but I love being turned into a piece of art. It's so much fun.
And I'm sure also, though, you leave those moments and it inspires you to then jump back into your art.
Absolutely. I learned so much from those few hours being with the artist and talking not only just about artwork, but just about life in general. We learn not only a lot about each other, but just a lot about just life and experience. And in the art world too, it's just awesome to collaborate with people who are very open-minded and very creative. It's an incredible experience. Every single time I leave, I'm like, all right, let's go take a picture. Let's start a new painting. Let's do this. So yeah, it's awesome.
Oh, I love it. I love the connection, the inspiration, the intrigue, kind of how it all layers in there. That's so wonderful. So I kind of wanted to continue along that path. So you've created artwork with kind of the personalities of people. How do you feel kind of in that moment, creating something with their personality, but also allowing, as you said, you were kind of feeling weighed down at that time, your own kind of stance and your own mindset in that moment to impact how you represent their personality? Do you find that a challenge? Do you find it easier? Kind of what is that process?
Yeah. It's like a puzzle for me in a way. I think a lot of the colors that I use kind of portray how I'm feeling, and then the composition of everything is more of how that personality kind of plays out. And sometimes it can be the opposite. Sometimes it's the composition that evokes the feeling and the colors are what kind of come through. But and sometimes one comes before the other. It really just depends on how the piece flows and starts and ends. But regardless, it's always a fun experience. And I learn something new every single time.
Absolutely. Oh, that makes me happy. I love that story. Wonderful. Well, Jazz, thank you so much. I really do enjoy the honesty of kind of sharing our inner self through our art, our connections with our friends or family through our art. I think a lot of times the audience doesn't realize how much of ourselves are in a piece. And so having these conversations and really relaying how much background, how much story there is to this art can be really powerful for someone looking to either just peruse the gallery or to buy a piece. So thank you for sharing that. I think it's wonderful to hear. Again, those two pieces are in our gallery up through June 18th. Definitely check them out. The gallery opens May 18th, 2 days. If you head right there, you are going to find it when it opens up. It's very exciting. If you're a Club Fringe member, go right now. Go right now. Look at that art. Buy that art. And then, of course, follow Jazz on social media. Jazz, thank you. I look forward to keeping up with your artistic journey and kind of what it continues to be. So thank you. We'll talk soon. Wonderful. Oh, so yes, big shout out to Jazz and that artwork. If you want to see it again, head to the gallery. You can get a nice picture to kind of see what we've been talking about. And kind of to just plug a little more, we are going to be having collaborative events at the Fringe in person. We talked about collaboration and how great it is. At the festival, we're going to be collaborating with different visual artists. We're going to have visual artists and musicians. We are going to have visual artists and performing artists. And we're going to be creating some really, truly unique, engaging, interesting events on that Play What You Can stage. If you head to the Fringe digital program and go to the Visual Fringe section, you'll find our full list of events to see that collaboration, to see kind of how we're going to be creating unique things, not only with different visual artists, but within different fields, which is very, very exciting. And I hope you'll join us. So our next artist, also new to the digital gallery or the gallery in general, but also so incredibly talented. And I am so thrilled to have them here. Figgy V is going to be joining us. We're dancing. I like it.
I know. I got it. You said excited, so I got excited. I was trying to get hype.
Gotta hype yourself up.
You know,
art,
number one.
Light, talking. You gotta get it there. I like that you're centering the art in the background too.
I'm trying to get artists all around. I am a piece of art. I got art in the background. Just trying to make it mingle.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing?
It's doing great. I'm doing so well. Thank you for joining us.
Well, thank you for having me.
I am so thrilled. I personally already own a piece of Figgy V's art. It's a card and it's got a cow on it and it says "Holy cow," and I love it. So I'm a big fan already, and I already am a big fan of the art behind you, but I kind of want to introduce you to our audience, our normal kind of patrons, to your art. It's probably maybe a little different than they're used to. It's a different medium, a different technique. So I'm really excited for them to hear all about it. If you want to tell us a little bit.
It is. So I think when people hear handmade cards, no slight to the other people that make handmade cards, but I think when people think of handmade cards, they think of like those stay-at-home mom that had the little cookie cutter and the little animals. And I do incorporate that because I do paper artwork. So between doing paper artwork, I also have my cards. Everything is basically mostly on cards, but I have my cards and then I have the music albums that I recreate as well. So when it comes to like the handmade cards, I usually either recreate people when people reach out to me and it's a birthday or it's a special event or it's a gift for their friend, that we have a conversation back and forth and I try to figure out little jokes, little, things that the other person likes to try to incorporate it. And my favorite part is when the person's like, I give you all the artistic freedom possible, because then I'm just like, yes. And then I just go and start sketching a whole bunch of things and send it to them and kind of just see what sticks. And kind of similar process when it comes to the music albums as well. It's just kind of, I mostly just do the albums that I really like, unless someone, suggests and they want an album as well. I just think it's another opportunity to take a second look at the albums. I get wrapped up, I get wrapped up so much in the lyrics and the music and the composition and how it's all put together that sometimes we do overlook the album cover, and that in itself is artwork. And a lot of artists, they wear a lot of hats, and you're not just a musician, you're also an artist overall. So you have so many input on how it's going to be delivered, how it's going to be perceived, how so many things. So people, don't think that, sometimes people just slap things onto an album cover or whatever, but even the littlest things of an album cover could mean like nothing and can mean a whole bunch to the artist and the whole reasoning of why they did it, so
Absolutely.
It's kind of like to make a spotlight on that so people could take a second look at it and be like, oh, I didn't realize that was like that, or that was there, or whatever.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's something we completely overlook because we think it's music and we're going in for the music, but an artist spent a lot of time, usually composition, color, layout, design, and it is a true piece of art itself. Completely.
Yeah, and usually it is different mediums. So my main medium that I use is paper, and I kind of take that item and I dissect it and try to see if people can view it from a different light with the medium that I use. And, sometimes they do. Sometimes I'm able to do an exact replica, and sometimes it's like, oh, you tried, but, close enough. Close enough. It's true. It's like close enough. Not all of them are winners, but it's close enough to be like, oh, yeah, I like that. I like that. It's my favorite album anyway. So,
I love that. Yeah. And your main medium is paper. So I have to ask, when did that start? How was that first light bulb? Because it sounds like, and it looks like, a truly intricate, time-consuming process. It's tiny, it's minute.
It really is. It's small. So, funny thing is, it didn't even really start off with paper. I just kind of been a creative child my whole life, where it's just, I'm good at problem solving, I guess, when it comes to things creatively. So it's like, oh, well, the wind is blowing my paper. It's like, oh, we'll put this here. We can like make little things. So it honestly started off with just baking, and I used to bake, and I wasn't good at baking at all. Like, my cooking was good. Okay, my cooking was good. The baking was good, but I was a very picky eater. So my family would be like, oh, you should become like a baker. because you make these great cookies and you did great with the fondant and the decorating. But then as a baker, you have to try like a whole bunch of different, like, try to explore. And at that point in time, I was a very picky eater. I was like, nah, I'm not trying to do that. I just want to decorate. And from like decorating icings, it morphed into when camera phones kind of came out. And this is where I feel like the age is showing, where it's just when cameras came out and we used to take pictures of everything. And then we had all these pictures and I was like, all right, well, scrapbooking was cool then. So I got into scrapbooking and I used to scrapbook all the time, but then scrapbooking was taking all of my money. And I realized that I was, I don't want to say cheap, but like, I feel like cheap is just like, very, I was frugal with my money.
You were
resourceful. And I was like, exactly. I was like, dang, man, I'm spending all of my money on stickers. Where sometimes I'll look at those stickers and I was like, oh, I can make that. So then that's where maybe the light bulb clicked in, where I was like, oh, I can make that. And that's where I just started like going home and trying new things and making new stickers. And eventually it just evolved where it went from doing it in scrapbooks to actually making cards. And I'm a big, I like to make, I guess, people just happy and kind of just like put a little like smile on their face. So if I ever see that someone is like in the need of just like a pick me up, it was just a great way of just like, oh, I'm gonna make them a card, and I would send them a card and I make them for them. And so it was something just on the side that I always did as like a hobby. But I had friends that were great and supported me and bought my early on cards. And so now they've just slowly evolved and
they make me happy. I'm just telling you.
Oh, well, yay.
So I encourage everyone watching, also follow Viggy V on Instagram. You will get to see like little videos on how the, artwork and the cards and the videos, they're great. They're fun. You get to watch the process, and then you get to see the completed product. And it's really neat to see the video and then the final product, how three-dimensional paper can be. So the process of that. So definitely follow @FiggyV. It's just going to be a little boost to your scrolling. It's going to be super fun to watch those, have them pop up.
Get a little pop of color.
Yeah.
The stories usually have great soundtrack, So just something to watch during your break real quick before you just go back to work.
You won't regret it. I promise you that. You also won't regret seeing the art in this gallery. So Viggy V has submitted 3 pieces, all album covers. So I do want to bring them up so we can see them. So the first one is Silk Sonic. There it is. That is amazing. Those glasses and the jewelry are so tiny and intricate. I got to ask, how long do you think it took you to make this piece?
So this piece actually started when the song first came out.
Yeah.
It first came out and I played it over and over and over and over and over again. And then I was like, oh, I kind of want to like recreate it. And so I started sketching it and then I slowly started working on it. Unfortunately, it's very intricate. And that's why I prefer, it's hard to sometimes take pictures of my pieces because I feel like it takes away a different sense from it. When you hold it, you can actually see a little bit better of the little intricate details of the pieces of it. So
yeah, and the texture, I'm sure too, because I can see the texture of the paper. I'm sure in person.
Yeah, some of the paper is flat, some of the paper is a little bit textured, some of it is layered. Sometimes I can't get the full dimension. Sometimes the camera doesn't take the full dimension, so there's layers to it that you don't pick up on until you actually like hold on to it and you're like, oh wow, like this goes a little bit higher than what it looks, then it brings out more to the card.
Yeah. So the way to see that in your hand is to buy it.
Exactly. You got to go to the market and maybe, go look at it in person.
Yes, be at our art market so you can check it out in person. You can buy it through the gallery. And all of the work is sensational. So the next one is Oasis. So that one is So colorful and so fun. So tell me a little bit about this one and why you chose to recreate this piece.
I recreated this piece. This one came out shortly before, I don't remember. I want to say it was a little bit the year before we went into the pandemic. And I love the album, and I love J Bad Green, and I love me some Bad Bunny so much. And this album was perfect, and it was my favorite, and I was automatically attracted to it because of the colors.
Yeah.
And both of the artists themselves are very colorful people.
And you get that through it.
Yeah, so I liked it. So I was happy that I was able to recreate it. This was actually my second piece that I've ever made for like an album. So this was my second album piece that I ever made. So this one has a little special place in my heart.
I love it. It's so fun and colorful, which is also why I love this next piece. So the next one is Dark Side of the Moon, Pink Floyd. And just the rainbow shooting through and the intricacy and detail of those lines of the paper that you created and the sharpness could not have been easy.
Listen, I didn't get it in the first. I didn't draw it and then like cut it out and got it. You know how many times I have the shakiest hands, which is very crazy to say for someone that is very intricate, but I have very shaky hands, and it's weirdly enough, one of the few times that I don't shake is when I'm, cutting. And so even though like I'm cutting, it may not be straight, but I'll cut it over, I'll draw it over and over again until it kind of gets right. Unfortunately, the thing about this one is that the camera, I wasn't able to get it so you can see the holographic piece, but the one on the far left is actually holographic. So when you move the card, you can kind of see like the reflection of the light, and I think that really gives into the card as well. So that's another example of me saying that like sometimes it just doesn't do it justice, like holding it and actually you get a different experience.
Yeah, that's so cool. Well, then I'm going to encourage everybody. Figgy V is going to be at our art market 5/21, 6 to 8. So come in person, see that art right in front of you, and also get it off of the gallery. This right here is the Etsy shop. If you don't want to wait, if you're like, I need Figgy V art right now, head to this Etsy shop. Get yourself some cards. The album covers that we just saw are in the gallery. And you have to see this art. It's different than I think most people think of art for some reason, but I want this kind of art, how different it can be, how many different mediums are out there, to be more mainstream. Really bring it to the people. Let them see how different creativity can truly be. So follow Figgy V. Look at that gallery. Come to the market. Keep up to date on what's going on.
Get custom cards.
Get yourself some cards. Send them to friends. We've been in a pandemic. Tell them you love them. Figgy V, thank you so much for joining us today. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it. We're actually going to bring Jazz back on. Do like
Come
a little
on, Jazz.
Look at them all. Look at everybody here. They're wonderful.
Curly-headed beauties.
Look at them. This is how we end every show now. That's wonderful. Figgy V, Jazz, thank you for joining us. Your work is truly incredible. I first saw it and I was like, I need to know what they're going to be doing as they continue. And I was like, follow them. I need to know this journey. So truly from the bottom of my heart, thank you for not only creating such cool art, but also for being here. Everyone out there, check them out on their social media. Check them out on their websites. Come to the art market to see Figgy V. Check out the gallery right there to buy their art, see their art. You will not be disappointed. I truly tell you that. So again, Figgy V, Jazz, thank you so much. Thank you everyone for watching. And we will be back next Sunday, same time, with 2 new artists. So we hope to see you then. Bye everybody.
Bye.